Jerome, what's your take on menopause?
That's kind of, to me, is a tricky subject, um, because we don't talk about that. Men and women don't talk about it, and when we do, we only talk about the hot flashes and some other things, but we don't talk about the full scope. And so women only, to me, I feel, see it from their perspective because it's happening to them. Whereas men, because they don't take the time to really understand what it is, they only see the part where, okay, she's going through high flashes or a mood swing or just not tonight. But when I went further into it and started to read this thing, I started seeing some things, and it's more to it than that. Women go through dryness that can be painful, and then once I saw that, began to see all the other things that was actually happening to their bodies, I kind of had a little more empathy towards my wife, because I was like, wow, this is what she's going through. The same thing with men. And it's an area where marriage can become, this is where you gotta solidify your marriage, because from a man's perspective, he goes, men are more, we in making love to our wife, it's like where we build a bigger, stronger connection. And so if you go to make love to your wife and then and she says no, women don't understand that he feels rejected. But then he also has to have that commitment to say, I know what my wife is going through, but I'm about to go out here into these elements where anything's going on, everything's going on, and I'm gonna have to stand 10 toes down in this marriage, even though it's been a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So it's something that I feel families, husband and wife, should sit down and talk about. One, so the woman can explain what she's going through, and the man can understand it fully, so that he can say, okay, hold on, I need to go find, my wife needs this. You know, my wife and I have, and me looking it up, I went to the health food store and found things that would help with her hot flashes, help with dryness, help with her emotions. I learned to give her time, you know, take the baby, go for a walk while she has her cascade moment, to really woosah, and really, you know, come to terms. So sometimes, you know, ways you want to hold your wife at night, and all of a sudden she went from being 0 below whatever to 90 degrees hot, and you in the room and you're like, it feels good and comfortable. Or it's 80 degrees outside and she decides, you know what, I'm gonna turn on the heat. You gotta learn how to deal with that, you know. But that's how I feel about menopause. It's just something that men need to understand more, and women need to explain it and address, that both parties can come to an agreement and come to a oneness to understand what's going on in their marriage, because it's not a one-sided ordeal thing. That's my take.